Hello, everybody. This is a Lamley showcase out in Overcast, Utah, showcasing brand new Hot Wheels Boulevard. The next mix is here. Mattel sent this to me to showcase for you, and if they're sending it to me, it means the release at Walmart's for Boulevard is imminent because this came from their distribution center. So start looking for it. It will hit soon. Boulevard can be a bit more of a hodgepodge. You might see some Hot Wheels originals, and I think we've got a little bit of everything in this particular mix. So let's get right to it. We are going to start. I've got these in order, and of course I'm going to show the model, and I always like to do a little bit of background on a couple of them. We'll start with the Volkswagen, quote, Classic Bug. I think this is the third release. We've seen this in Moon Eye's livery. We've seen it in car culture. Now we get it in just, what you kind of see in the Hot Wheels world. By the way, here's all this. If you want it, here's that, if you want it. Now let's get to the Beetle. We see the art, always it's the same art. It's this, kind of Hot Wheels world. You can even see the awnings here, always represent some sort of Hot Wheels, fantasy world. And let's, open these up and we start with this. How cool is this? So a classic Beetle. They've had some fun with this casting, right? Once it was released, it's been on the 4-spokes. It's been on the kind of the Aero-style Real Riders. Now we see it on the 6-spokes. So kind of a classic look with a modern twist with these rims. And I like it, and I like that they're chrome. And I think this is the first time we're seeing the 6-spokes tiny in the front. I don't think we've seen them before. So this wheel is small, and you could see these on some of these like Japanese cars coming out, like a modern twist, excuse me, on some of these Japanese cars. I think this small 6-spoke has a very rich future moving forward. So that is the Beetle, which I think is very, very cool. Number 32 is the 66 Pontiac Gto. This one is kind of Hot Wheels world kind of thing too, right? The original Gto was released in Boulevard last year. They did this particular 67, right? Is it the 67? 66. We've seen versions of this casting, large wheels in the back. They did this version is based on the actual GTO that Mattel themselves own, that's in their own garage, sitting kind of low, and it was in that kind of gray and red. Now this is the second version. It's almost just like a second color. I don't know if this color represents an actual color, but I do like it in this plain color. I do like it sitting low. I like the fact that it has the same size rims on both the front and back, and the 5-spoke chromes look fantastic here. Chrome rims is really the theme here with that one exception. So I really like this one. I like this one a lot better than last year's version. I just think it's a little cleaner, really kind of plays with that GTO look a little bit better. So that is that one. All right, you ready for the history lessons now? We're going to go dive back. Let's move these out of the way, and let's go to this one. I am so stoked to see the 70 Plymouth Superbird jumping in a very clean version in Boulevard. There is the art. Let's take a look at the model. A couple of things to point out, and then we're going to go back to some of my favorite premium Superbirds. Here's a couple things that I like about this one. Number one, you've got two castings that have this silhouette, right? You have the Dodge Charger Daytona, that's what it is, that has this silhouette that originated in the Fast and Furious. This Superbird predates that casting. And there was an older Dodge Charger Daytona that was sitting a little bit lower, but this Superbird debuted in, I think, 2006, and it came in like 4 colors that were more of the stock, with the Plymouth on the side, the little Roadrunner look, or what is that? It's the cartoon look on the wing. This car was made famous by Richard Petty, right? And for racing, it has that obnoxious silhouette, but so obnoxious that it's so endearing and just something to love. They put the Real Riders on it. They've made it nice and clean. Love the black roof. And they actually made it same size wheels in the back, which I like, which makes more sense on a Superbird. There has not been a lot of premium Superbirds But I do want to show 3 that have been recently released. And you can see or not even recently, just in the past. And if we actually go back like 10 years, this one was recently released in Team Transport in the Union 76 livery. Really dig this one. Clean racing deco. And this is where I was like, oh, the Superbird is back. It's nice to see it in premium. Because it had been a long time. I think we saw it in Cool Classics, things like that, which I'm not. Cool Classics are just Hot Wheels Classics, which was never a line that I was too interested in. But this Union 76 version was kind of cool. And then we have to go way back to when this casting went from basic to premium. Basic 2006, 2007. Debuted in premium, I believe, here in Vintage Racing. It's the Richard Petty Superbird, right? How perfect is that? Immortalized in the movie Cars too, right? Number 43 in the light blue coloring with all the racing deco. Perfect vintage racing model, right? And one that if you don't have, you should get. Kind of, I don't know what the price is running on this one now, but yeah, a really, really cool version, part of that spectacular vintage racing line. That's where it debuted premium. And then there's one that is like, I always love showing this model because a lot of people don't even know it existed. But RLC is a big deal now. Back then you could get this one. This is probably about 10 years ago as well. In this really cool dark olive green Spectraflame color with the black redline tires and the black rims. This thing, if they re-release this in RLC now, it would be a huge deal, right? I think a lot of people would get super excited about it. And this one has kind of a look that you would possibly see in RLC now. This is one I always had on my list, and a few years ago I finally bit and bought it on eBay and opened it. And I'm glad I have it because it's really skyrocketed in price and it's getting harder and harder to find. But that is a very, very cool Superbird. Those are the 3 premium Superbirds I have. I have the first edition basic, but I'm super stoked to add this Boulevard version. All right, let's get to the last 2. I mentioned it's the Hot Wheels world, so you're going to see some Hot Wheels fantasy castings. You're going to see Mattel cars. You're just going to see something that they just find is interesting that maybe doesn't fit a particular theme like the Superbird. And then you're going to see employee cars. And here is the DMC DeLorean. There's a reason, I believe the reason is because Manson Chong, the designer for Hot Wheels, has a DeLorean, is obsessed with the DeLorean, is obsessed with the Back to the Future DeLorean. So you just know it's him behind all of these. And we got to open this thing up. Here is the art. This one is here, and this is why the reason I think I know why it's here, as his kind of as like a Hot Wheels employee's car, is because this has already been seen in Boulevard back in the day, like 2011, 2012. But let's look at this version. It's got those Watanabe style. I think this is the closest thing outside of those low-profile 10-spokes. This is probably the closest thing to a DeLorean wheel, right? But it is raw. Zamac, whatever you want to call it. Detailing is very simple. It actually on the top is a little bit more clear than I've seen before on this particular casting. And I brought a few out. The DeLorean, I know there was a black DeLorean, maybe a gold DeLorean, but when you think of DeLorean, you think of just the stainless steel, right? Raw look of the DeLorean. And I have 4 different versions, 4 different takes on that, all probably from the mind of Manson. But this is the first version. This is the basic version that was released several years ago. You can see it has the 10-spoke wheels. It actually got full deco, right? It got the DMC in the front, it got side detailing, and it even got the taillights done. It was recolored in black and gold that year. I don't remember much more than that, but I have kept this one, which I think is very cool. Then, like I said, it went premium and went to Boulevard. So here's the first version Boulevard, also raw. I can put these together for you. You can see that they are very different in terms of looks. How they've been done. Even the backside is a little different, but the deco is essentially the same because it's a stock DeLorean. Wheels are different. I don't know which one I prefer. I think I prefer this one, the newer one. But yeah, it's been in Boulevard before, and now you can see this old one. The Real Riders, those are kind of the older style Real Riders that have lost their luster a bit. Don't look as cool as some of the more realistic ones that they've done of late. But Yeah, so the DeLorean has been in Boulevard. There's 2 other versions. They did a premium version for RLC here. Now this is not a raw version, it's actually chrome, and this one has the opening gull wing doors. And Manson may have designed this one as well. You can see all the detailing is here. It does sit on the Neos. I'm not a huge fan of the Neo wheels. But kind of a cool version. I had to go back and get this one. Bought it on the secondary market, bought it on eBay to get it a few years ago. In fact, I actually bought it after the last model I'm going to show you, which is still the quintessential DeLorean. From a few years ago at the Chicago convention, this dinner model, the dinner honoring Manson, they did this dinner model. It is the opening doors version, but they talked about this special kind of brushed metal process that they used. You can see this one's actually autographed by Manson, to make it as DeLorean-like as possible. And this one doesn't have that Zamac look, but they treated the metal in such a way that it just has a very interesting kind of realistic look, making it really ultra premium. And if you're a DeLorean guy and you like collecting the DeLorean, definitely pick up this new Boulevard, but find this one. I don't think you have to pay through the nose to get this version. That may change over time. I have no idea. I haven't looked in a while. But this is Manson's DeLorean done as a dinner model in the dinner that honored him. All right, how about that for a little history lesson on the DeLorean? Kind of cool to see all of them. Here, I'll just put it right here together like that. Last one, and the one that I think I am most interested in is the Custom 70 Chevy Nova. This is a brand new casting. I remember talking to Jimmy Lou about this. This just completely came from their brains. Like, let's just do a bonkers Nova. I think Jimmy wanted to do it. Then he went to Mark Jones, who does most of the premium designs for new castings, and Mark went for it and created this just bonkers Nova. Let's get it open. And I had to think, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at the car first. And I had to think of something to compare it to. I think you'll like the one I chose. Here it is, just sitting super wide. We have a few Nova castings that have been done. This thing, there's nothing like this one. Sitting on deep dish 5 spokes, both front and back, which I just dig. This thing is just insane. Black spoiler on the back sticking out. From the side profile, it just looks like just a super sporty Nova. From the front and the back, oh man, it's totally just out of control. Big wide base on this one, and obviously the wide tires. I dig this. This is the kind of stuff that I just like. Where do you put this in a car culture? That's why you have Boulevard, right? So you can do something like this. It's kind of a fantasy casting, but you could totally see something like this on the road or on the track, maybe at some sort of car show or car meet or something. I just think this is a really clever, very cool model. So I had to think, like, what could I use? Could I just show older Novas? It's like, no, because I don't have that many of the older Novas because I don't like the castings that much. But I had to go back to an older, my comparison model is something that just, from the minds of Hot Wheels, something just completely just out of left field, and I had to go with this. Also from Boulevard in 2013. It's the Chevy Astro drag van, or what do they call it? Oh, it doesn't even have a name on it. Something that's like, wait, what? Yeah, it's a Chevy Astro van, which, but they did it as a drag van. Now, we've only seen this with Boulevard, and then I think it's been in pop culture once or twice. Other than that, we've never seen it again. Maybe bring it back to Boulevard, guys. And I just think, you don't see, this is a completely built-from-scratch original Nova. This is a completely built-from-scratch original Chevy Astro van. If there's one out there, I haven't seen it. Maybe there is. But I thought, what a perfect comparison, something that you just don't expect to see. Oh, it's getting windy. So there you go. That is your mix of Boulevard. You guys tell me what you think. I think this is one of the better mixes they've done. Not a weak one in the bunch between the Beetle, the Superbird, the GTO, the Nova, and of course the DeLorean. You guys tell me what you think. Thanks, everybody. Bye.